all come together. Scientists as preachers, whoever is preaching at churches might be not a bad idea. Actually, that might be a disaster. I don't know, but driving in the dark. I was reading this book. Still reading the same book. That thing's longer than Harry Potter, and it's dense. I know you can't see me, but that might help. Yeah, I don't want to drive with a light on, because then some cop's gonna think I'm high as fuck and can't see. I've been reading this book, and it's literally the most dense book ever. It's a metaphysics book, and you have to know quite a bit about different theories and physics in general. You'd have to know shit before you read the book, but once you read this book, like, it's a book that really makes you think. It's got everything in this book. Like, it literally talks about everything about God, the Omega Point, the expansion of the universe, computer technology, nanorobots, space probes, the theory of general relativity, the special theory, the general theory. It talks about Planck's constant, Hubble's law. It talks about even Stephen Hawking, and many in between. And something I recently, I guess the Omega Point is the point in which the universe collapses. The universe is God. I know my seatbelt's not on. I'm aware you're ruining my video. Thank you, though. The universe is God. God is the Omega Point. God is the... It's like they're two separate things, but they're the same. So, to sum it up, heaven and to live forever and for humans to exist for forever, we would have to come to the end of the universe, in which all of the information from the past comes and crunches into the future, and will be joined as one. So every person or so it says in this book, every person, now I'm not saying I believe in this, okay, I'm just saying what I read, alright, because it makes you think about some things. Energy is still in the universe, and doesn't matter how old they were or whatever, they have a timeline, and everyone will be resurrected at the Omega Point. And I'm thinking that is whenever somebody says they're gonna die and go to heaven. Heaven is the Omega Point. Heaven is, that's what they, okay, fine, you win. I guess that's what they mean by God is the beginning and the end. The Omega Point, from what I gathered, is heaven. That is where we would live forever. Our energy in the universe, and so on and so forth. That is where we will see other people's energy from history all come together in one. But when I think of death, I think that there's nothing after it. You die, you don't know that you're dead. There's nothingness, right? Like Jon Snow when he died in Game of Thrones, but was brought back to life by, what's her name, Melisandre. So, but, like, when I had to get surgery, when I had to get surgery, I was put to sleep. Probably for an hour, 2 hours, I don't know how long, but it felt like no time had passed. Or I was asleep, and then the next second I was awake. I don't remember anything. I didn't know that time had passed. I mean, I guess it kind of felt like some time had passed, you know? But because I knew I was under surgery for that long, and I knew I was asleep, but it was like sleep, awake. Like you don't know. And so I'm thinking to myself, that's probably what death is like. you don't have a sense of time once you're dead, okay? So the next time that anybody that has died wakes up will be at the end of the universe. It will seem as if no time had passed to them. Whether it be cavemen or people from the 1800s that died from the bubonic plague, if that's even when the hell that happened, I don't know. George Washington, Abe Lincoln, Sonny Bono, whoever, whatever year it was, okay, and well into the year 3000, 4000, 5000, blah, 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 until the universe continues on. So we'll all just be patients, sleeping on a bed, and we'll not realize that time is passing, or things are moving around us, or that space exists around us. Maybe we will. Who the fuck knows? I haven't died. I don't know. I mean, or am I dead? I'm a simulation. Life is a simulation. A very, very complex simulation. So, my phone completely cut out. What was I saying? I sounded like I was on some shit, and I'm not on some shit. I am not on some shit. No. But I'm talking like I'm on some shit. Maybe I am on some shit. No, but really, honestly, like, okay, I was talking about the Omega Point. Everybody in the history of man will be resurrected at the end of the universe. We will all come together, according to this book. The Omega Point theory, if you want to look it up, and whether you believe in a heaven or hell, this is essentially saying heaven is the end of the universe. Heaven is the resurrection of all things in the history of man and the universe coming together at the Omega Point. He took me back to Eastern land, my heart is in a band, my heart is in a band. So for people that think, well, damn, like these people that were like existing early on and died early on, they have to wait a long ass time to be able to live forever and shit, to be resurrected or, you know, get to the Omega Point. These fuckers have to wait a long time. But like I said, it's not waiting when you don't know what time is. It's literally going to sleep and waking up thinking no time had passed. This is if the Omega Point theory and the eternal return is a legitimate theory. If the past and the future collide in the compression, I like to call it the compression of the universe, then not that that's all the Omega Point is, because there's a lot more to it than that, but yeah, it kind of makes you think a little bit that in the beginning, God was the beginning. In the beginning, God created light. He clapped his hands or whatever and said, "Let there be light." The expansion of the universe. He is the end, the Omega Point. Now, I'm not sure if this is just a metaphor or what, but any person that has died, their information, or anything that existed in this universe, their information is stored in the universe. A question that I had that came up was, well, doesn't the information degrade over time, lose potency over time, you know? Like a memory that fades, but no. Not the case. I mean, honestly, I grew up in a Christian household. Like, it was a rather lenient household. Whether you're an atheist, agnostic, Christian, a nihilist, you know, this is an interesting thing to think about. I don't know, like, I believed in nothing for a while. I believed everything was meaningless and purposeless. We're here by accident. We're here because atoms reacted. We die, nothing happens. There's no magical thing that happens. We die, we don't know we're dead because there's nothingness. Nothing is, you know, everything is scientifically based and really has no meaning, and everything is random chance. But this omega point theory is pretty interesting and pretty cool. And it has me thinking about a lot of things. And like literally, I was at the gym. I had just got done like lifting weights and stuff. I decided to go on the stair climber and read a couple more pages. And as I'm reading about the universe and thinking like, you know, is there any sort of significance? Are we a simulation? What have you? You know, I finished the chapter and I got off. And I look at the time, and the time that I was on the stair climber was 10:23. 10 minutes and 23 seconds. Now, like I said, the number haunts me and has continued to haunt me. It's not stopped. It's like, but when I stopped and when I looked at that before I turned around, I was like, I don't necessarily know if I believe in any of that, if it was just mere coincidence, and I wanted to take a picture of it, but, you know, the time canceled out before I could as I was walking away. I don't know, maybe the universe does tell you things. Maybe we are a simulation. Maybe, you know, the reason we do things is because is for our betterment, and the computer knows that. So we do the things we do or make the decisions we make because it's the best possible outcome. Hold on. Another thing that the book finally talked about, which I was confused about, was why are we not all made equal? Like, we are all made equal, right? But, like, why are some species better than other species? Why do some people have more money than other people? Why are some people prettier than other people? And it gave this reason that if everybody were the same, there would be no one. And that the species that are lower than us are necessary. And without the lower, we would not have the higher. There would be no differentiating. There would be no... I mean, I guess that makes sense. It was very, very fucking meta, so to even, like, recite it back to you wouldn't even... Thanks. But we have free will, obviously. Don't even get me started, because there is a theory, and actually they used part of Einstein's general theory of relativity to prove the fact that we have free will in this book. I'll have to make that's another video for another day, but whether we have free will or not, I don't know. Yeah, life is not fair in some aspects, but if it weren't random and nonsensical like it is, it wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't have any meaning or depth. The person that made this book isn't necessarily like a god humper, or I don't know why I would call that. They're not like fighting for God to exist. This is, I mean, they're very scientifically backed. This person is a physicist, cosmologist. They're not just, I mean, this theory has been well developed with other scientists involved, other theorists involved. Sorry, there's dirt in my nails. That's gross. But you know how we do over here. We get our hands dirty, okay? This Tipler guy, Frank J. Tipler, I think. You can't even find him on Twitter. Why would he have a Twitter? I don't know. There's a lot of people that talk about him in his books. He's made many, many books. He backs his shit up. And then he backs the back of that up. And, like, he backs up his theories with scientific evidence. Every sort of scenario that one might think actually mathematically calculates these theories and compares them to other theories and shows why this theory wouldn't exist with this theory, because if the general theory of relativity says this, then this is possible. Planck's constant is blah blah blah. If the universe is expanding at this rate, then so and so and so forth. Like so and so, like, oh my god. Everyone in this video is gonna think I'm high. I'm not. I don't do drugs because people already think I'm on them. He backs it up, and he classical physics and also the standard model. This guy backs his shit up with numbers, with math, with studies, with comparing it to other theories. But the whole reason why religious people don't like science and why scientists don't like religion is because nobody combines them. Like, they're too afraid to. Or they're too afraid that if science is accurate, that necessarily undermines or diminishes the existence of God. You know, I'm not a believer of God, but I can't say for sure that there isn't. You know, I've seen some shit I can't explain. So I would say that I'm agnostic, because agnostic people don't know. And I'm sure that comes from some Greek word, agnosio, which means to not know. I don't know. This guy is not afraid to support or to scientifically say, there is this theory I have that we all might be resurrected one day, and I know this shit's crazy, but like, hear me out. And then he goes into a bunch of boring shit that nobody wants to listen to. Preachers and Christians are very poetic and also very boring. They say a lot of things that sound like fairy tales, and you're like, I don't know, man, like, this doesn't really sound too smart, like, but, like, why, like, because you're always sitting there and you're like, but why, like, and then the bush was burning, and God touched him and healed it. Yeah, but how? Like, how did he do that, and why? Scientific people want to know why and how, and some make it up, go on. Religious people they just read it as gospel, but they don't ask questions, and ask too many questions, they don't like that. If there were scientists as preachers, I really feel like more people would be believers in a God, whoever, right? I think more people, if a scientist came up and taught us about the universe, more people would believe in God. I'm not saying I know anything more than the next person about religion or science. I don't. I'm not an expert, and I'm not claiming to be one. Maybe more scientists preaching at churches might be not a bad idea. Actually, that might be a disaster. I don't know, but I'm just giving my 2 cents. Yeah, so anyways, let me know your thoughts. Okay, I'm done. Bye. Peace.